Hey, hello, Jacob here. And just got done watching the Broncos-Jets game. The Broncos managed to pull off a victory, so good for them. Even though, yeah, I mean, that Jets defense, well, again, they're coached under Greg Williams, which, Vikings fans, if you know anything about that, well, yeah. But anyway, like I said, I could continue to talk about that till I'm blue in the face, but it does no good considering we can't change history. But anyway, yeah, let's just say there are a ton of personal fouls, a ton of just overall. I mean, it was a bit. It was just. So it'll be interesting to see if the NFL does anything or what, because there's definitely some bad blood between them. Especially because afterwards, Vic Fangio basically told the Broncos players to get the fuck off the field and get in the locker room now. So yeah, just a little recap of that game. So, well, hopefully the Vikings can do on Sunday what the Broncos did to the Jets tonight. And win a game, please! I mean, we got so close to beating the Titans, but choked yet again. By the way, did I mention Steven Gostkowski is a hell of a kicker? But anyway. Because, yeah, at this point, until the Vikings can prove to me otherwise that they can do something, we're going to get blown out every week and go 0-16. But again, as I said before, that's not actually probably going to happen, let's be honest here. But, so yeah, as I said before, the next opponent is the Houston Texans on Sunday afternoon at noon on Fox. So, by the way, did I mention they have J.J. Watt on their defense? Yeah. And, of course, you can't rule out Deshaun Watson. But, yeah, I mean, well, to be fair, though, I wonder what Bill O'Brien's thinking. It's like, why the hell are we 0-4? Oh, I don't know, maybe because you got rid of everybody on your team? Like, literally everybody? Really, the only two key players that they still have that I would say would be Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. However, though, Will Fuller's a good receiver when healthy. Randall Cobb can still get it done. And David Johnson's actually looking like David Johnson from 2015. So, it'll be interesting to see the game plan there. Because, well, Deshaun Watson, first and foremost, has to be stopped because that guy is a mobile freak. Yeah, he's made plenty of plays with both his legs, with his arm. I mean, to be fair, though, it also helps when you have a number one receiver in, at the time, DeAndre Hopkins. But now he's in Arizona doing what DeAndre Hopkins does. So, now, the only thing I will say, though, is that can also be, kind of one of those things where it's like what happened with the Lions a few years ago after Megatron retired. It was kind of hard to, pinpoint, one player. Because, well, once your number one receiver, retires and all that stuff, and you pick up some different weapons, then you can't just key in on one guy anymore. So, now, does it hurt not having DeAndre Hopkins on their team? Oh, heck yes. So, if we can exploit that, and also if we can actually have healthy cornerbacks, that'd be kind of nice. Because, well, I don't know if you heard, but the Vikings kind of had a little bit of an issue after the Titans game on Sunday. Apparently, it was 8, I think, Titans, both staff and players ended up with COVID. So, as a precaution, the last couple days, the Vikings have been, not in the facility. However, thankfully, no Vikings personnel or players have had COVID or have tested positive, so that's a positive there. However, though, because of that whole thing, the Titans and Steelers game had to be moved. So, it'll be played later in the season. No idea when. But after yet another player tested positive today, they couldn't play it this week. So, be interesting to see how they do that, or if they do some sort of a double header, which I really don't see, but yeah. Anyway, like I say, tying this all back together here. The Vikings have to play all 4 quarters. What I saw last week was a huge improvement from what we've been. It's nice to see both our offense, Justin Jefferson show up. That was amazing to see. Dalvin Cook had a career game. And we still lost on a field goal because, well, let's just say, when it comes to major drives, both Kirk Cousins and the offensive line forget how to football. Bar none, that's what happened. But to be fair, we should have never gotten ourselves into that position, but whatever. Like I say, our defense is definitely not as good as it used to be. To be fair, though, also there's a lot of key injuries there. But yeah, at this point, I'm just going to say 2020 is turning into a lost season. However, though, we can still turn this around if we beat the Houston Texans and get some momentum going here, boys. Because, like I say, I pretty much previewed the Houston Texans game. It's just basically stop their defensive line from pushing J.J. Watt, basically, and stop Deshaun Watson, David Johnson, and Will Fuller. So yet another tough task for our, secondary. But again, though, it's just this year has just been crazy in general. Not even just for the Vikings, but case in point, back to the Broncos-Jets game from tonight. It seemed like every third play, another player was going down, another player was going down, and another player was going down. So yeah, again, conditioning matters. So yeah, again, that's why a lot of people, who don't want preseason might want to take a look at that. Because again, get back into conditioning and all that stuff. And like I say, injuries are going to happen. ACLs are going to tear, biceps are going to tear, collarbone, that stuff's going to happen. It's just kind of the nature of the sport. When you have literally 250-pound men going after other 250-pound men at like 30 miles an hour. So play after play, game after game. Eventually your body wears down. So, which is why a lot of times the team that wins the Super Bowl is a team that's the healthiest at the end of the year. Because everyone's going to have injuries. Next man up. But anyway. And also I have to keep an eye on some potential rumblings within the actual team. Because, well, it sounds like both Harrison Smith has been called up by But anyway, like I say, I'll make a separate video on that when the time comes. Because, well, I'm not going to say anything at this point just because, well, he's still on the team and, nothing has, happened yet, but it's just, let's just say, if we can get a couple wins here, boys, and get right back into this, who knows? So, yeah, like I say, there's still a lot of football to be played. There's still a lot of craziness going on, and we're only done with the month of September. There's still another, 12 weeks of football to go here. So, be interesting to see what happens, not just with the Vikings, but the NFL in general, as we get into the colder months here. Because, again, the Titans and Steelers is the first game to be, sort of altered because of COVID. What other games are going to be altered because of COVID? You know what I mean? Just because we're going to be starting to get into the colder months again. People aren't going to be going out as much. People are going to be at home more and all this, that, and the other things. So, who knows? But all I do know is Vikings better show up this Sunday, put up a performance, and for the love of God, play 4 quarters, 60 minutes, whatever you got to do. Let's get a W and get some momentum in the right direction. So yeah, that should pretty much wrap up this video. So until next time, this is Jacob. And like I said before, if there's any major news or anything going on, I'll be sure to chime in. Also stay tuned because I did purchase some Crucial Catch stuff, which is a very, very important cause to me, especially because of, well, let's just say I have some family members who have dealt with it, and I have a family member who is dealing with it. So, but like I say, I'll break all that down more once that actually happens. So, and once I actually get the item. So, till we meet again, have a good night.